they've got no operations. It's like saying you're allowed to, you know, operate your body any way you want, but if someone's got a button where they can shut off your blood supply, at the end of the day, they control your body. And that is the power of Congress. Type in Mike Donilon.
Oh, God. He's got a brother or a father.
Yeah. And or just like Mike Donilon, yeah, that one will work too. But just actually, I think there was a piece this week on this as well. But yeah, go ahead, Mike Donilon. That works. I think the Wikipedia should work as well. Okay. So Mike Donilon is the top advisor to Joe Biden and has been since 1982.
Since 1982? Yeah, my God,
yes.
Give him a Medal of Honor.
I'm sorry, 1981?
Give him a bigger Medal of Honor.
Now, Mike Donilon is the head of what they call the shadow cabinet inside the White House, what they call the kitchen cabinet, the small coterie. Mike Donilon has been the top political groomer of Joe Biden's political career for 44 years.
You're saying these are the people who are really running the country, effectively.
Mike Donilon is Tom Donilon's brother.
Right.
So the guy who is the top advisor to the President of the United States and is at every single one of these meetings, knowing exactly what the U.S. government is going to do through the Central Intelligence Agency, through the Defense Department, through the State Department, through USAID, in order to take over a region, destabilize a region, overthrow a government, royal the currency markets, acquire these oil and gas, exploit this copper and aluminum, this policy on lithium, this policy that's going to impact portfolio companies operating in shipping and freighting and mining, oil and gas, weapons manufacturing. This is the craziest insider trading setup you could possibly imagine.
Yep.
The number one guy at the advisory role of the White House, who's been the political groomer of the U.S. president for 44 years, his brother is running the investment arm of BlackRock. And this also, I mean, BlackRock is also who cleared Joe Biden in 2019 to run for president. You can read a New York Times.
They what to him?
Joe Biden hesitated before running for president. If you remember, he waited a long time. People ruled it out after a certain time because he had waited so long. And I believe it was in January 2019 when he came to New York and met with Larry Fink. And once he secured Larry Fink's green light, as I believe according to the New York Times,
green light?
Yes. Basically, when BlackRock, he was indecisive on the fence, met with Larry Fink. Larry Fink said, "Yeah, you should run. We'll back you." That's when Biden threw his hat in the race. And then lo and behold, the Obama's number one cabinet official goes over to run BlackRock's in-house think tank, and they're profiteering off of all of these policies. They're the ones, leading Ukraine reconstruction. They can bet on the Biden administration taking hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money, and as well as bribing, threatening, cajoling, coercing the entire country of Ukraine to sell off all of its strategic assets to these BlackRock portfolio companies. You can just look up, Ukraine strategic asset sale, Ukraine selling itself off to Western companies. So, what I'm saying is on getting back to the structuring side of this, that was done through, so USAID is going away, but there will still be, we're right now in a fight over the budget, the annual budget fight, which is really the moment that Congress is most powerful, because Congress has power over the purse, and the executive branch can set the policies of the DOD, the State Department, the DOJ, the FBI, but if they've got no money, they've got no operations. It's like saying you're allowed to, operate your body any way you want, but if someone's got a button where they can shut off your blood supply, at the end of the day, they control your body. And that is the power of Congress. And Congress does not want to codify these DOJ cuts. again, I don't know if this is fully accurate. The news reporting I saw was that only something like $9 billion of Doge cuts are included in the current budget, which I think is just 5.4% of the waste, fraud, and abuse that Doge identified and recommended for cuts. Now, a lot of those funds were paused. They were contracts were terminated, but they can simply be put in a new bill, and then they're right back. And
the bills are this thick, so no one even knows it's in there.
Right, and every member of Congress, because the issue is they're not really throwing a bone. They are with $1 trillion Pentagon budget, which is a whole other.
I was gonna say we're missing trillions of dollars here. So when we really talk about balancing the budget, like how is it even a realistic conversation when there's like a whole bunch of it that we would need to balance that's missing that we don't even know where it is?
Yeah. I mean, some estimates say
21.
I mean, there was an article in the Street in 2020 which said that there was a $35 trillion Pentagon black hole budget. You want to put that on screen. It's just a funny visual.
Well, that is from Jim Cramer, so the inverse sometimes is right.
Yeah. And you'll see
that's our one hope.
You'll see there's a privatization, it's a sell-off. But just type in the Street or Yahoo Finance also published this Pentagon $35 trillion black hole.
Black hole.
Yes. This is so at the time in 2020, the national debt was less than $35 trillion. So,
yep, there it is. The Pentagon. You weren't kidding. Pentagon's $35 trillion accounting black hole.
So by that math, the Pentagon had lost more money than the entire U.S. national debt. Just the Pentagon, and like literally, the national debt crisis could be over if we could just find the money the Pentagon lost.
Joe, this is the Great Society, bro. This is what we talk about. It is. Oh my God.
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Pentagon?
It's like the South Park episode, and it's gone.
Right.
It's all gone.
Right. Well, this one's quite a doozy. But
you want to go down?
It's okay. And the point that I'm getting at here is we're giving the Pentagon more money than it's ever gotten before. I think it's right now around $900 billion. And we're giving it $1 trillion. I mean, the fundamental point I was getting at is Congress does not want to pass these cuts because money for their donors, money for their constituent districts or states comes in significant part from these grants and contracts. If you are in Northern Virginia and your district is weapons manufacturers, or if you are in the Midwest and you're, multinational corporations who are dependent, are big agriculture companies, and they want take over the agriculture markets in Latin America or Ukraine, which is a big breadbasket, or Syria, you want the battering ram of the U.S. government to take that market for you.
Right.
And so you have a lot of Republicans who are, I think there was 26 folks in Congress on the Republican side who are, as last I counted, it was that were saying they were not going to codify the Doge cuts. And that is too big a margin to overcome. If they abstain or vote with Democrats, then this will fail. And the issue is, can you create enough of an inducement to these folks? Because right now, all you're doing is taking away, and you're taking away in the interests of the country. Mm-hmm. And if they were moral people, if they were motivated by what's best for the country, then they should do the right thing. The issue is they have, I'm sure, some affinity. I don't think that all of them are entirely self-interested, stereotype caricatures of evil politicians. I think a lot of it is a fight for their own political lives. And this is part of the unseemly part of the restructuring of this. It's sort of like, if someone is a hardcore addicted to heroin, the withdrawal symptoms can be so severe that people can, in extreme cases, can die of the withdrawal symptoms if they're that hooked on it. That's why you have these kind of intermittent drug therapies, like, you put them on methadone, and then they go clean from there. You sort of give them another bad drug that's less bad as you're weaning them towards being clean.
That's right.
And what it takes to become not just a member of Congress, but to move up the ladder through the committees, into senior leadership positions, into a whip position, into a speaker or Senate Majority Leader position. You are building favors with the blob the whole time. That's how you rise up through the ranks. You are building up favors within contacts at the agencies. You're building up favors within major donor networks. You're building up favors with major folks in New York at the hedge fund and private equity fund layer. You're building up favors within the military industrial complex. You're building up favors with the folks in the Chamber of Commerce. And there's something more. There's a bigger issue than just corruption in Washington that we're dealing with here, which is the corruption of the lower Jenga blocks of what even created the American empire in the first place.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.